Well, a very good afternoon, everybody, and thanks so much for joining us today for a webinar I know you'll find really exciting. My name is Sandy Elson, and on behalf of the travel professional community and travelprofessionalnews.com, I welcome all of you and thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. I am really pleased that our host today is Exodus Travels, and our speaker is Tony Perdomo. Tony's topic today is Secrets to Selling Active and Adventure Travel with Exodus Travels. I know all of us are getting requests from clients who want to do active and adventure travel, so this is a really well-timed webinar. An industry veteran with over 15 years of experience in the adventure travel industry, Tony Perdomo has been instrumental to growing the adventure travel sector in North America. He has held various executive positions within the industry and began his career as a tour guide in Latin America, Asia, and Eastern Europe. Fluent in Spanish and some Portuguese, he has visited over 65 countries across the globe. Maybe if we're lucky, you can run through them all in 10 seconds. Before we get started, please remember that you are all muted, but we welcome your questions. You can type in your questions at any time in the question area you see on the right-hand panel of your screen. At the end of Tony's presentation, we'll get to as many questions as we can. Also, please note that after the webinar is over, Tony will be doing a random drawing of a name from all the attendees who have been to this entire webinar, and he will be giving away a $500 travel voucher for Exodus Travels Great Adventures. Whoever is the winner will be contacted after the webinar is over. So let's turn the microphone over to Tony so he can get started. Welcome, Tony.
Well, thank you. Hope good afternoon to everybody, or good morning, wherever you are in this wonderful continent. Once again, Tony here with Exodus Travels. My aim for the next 25 minutes or so is to give you a little bit of an insight of who is Exodus Travels, why are we here, and why we're the experts when it comes to travel. So what I'm going to do now is just start with a little bit of a little video from the archives from back in 1974. And this is sort of how things were back in '74.
There it is. Thanks, Sammy. Now please put it on the judges' table. Quick.
Okay, hang on.
Row can too. It's very bad.
As my papa always says, bonga mangia, no wait. Which roughly means the food wouldn't be bouncing if you had been more patient.
Catch that bouncy food!
All right, so I do hear a little bit of background noise out there. So that's a bit better now. So hopefully you saw the video here and you noticed that once again we've been around for 44 years. So this is me. So I'm Tony. I'm one of the BDMs for Exodus Travels, and like I said, we've been around for 44 years, which is quite nice. So I'm in charge of Eastern USA, which is quite nice, and as well, I can't do this without my colleagues here. So we have Kent, who is from Western Canada, so he covers half of the Western US territory, as well as my other colleague here, Sheena. So you'll get all contact information at the end of this webinar. No big deal at all. So next, let's get started here. So why Exodus? I mean, you've heard we've been out for 44 years, and this is what we are today as 2018. So definitely the world leader when it comes to active travel. You'll see that we have many hiking and cycling opportunities and itineraries. But in addition to that, we also have other style of travels, which you'll see. And many solo-friendly itineraries. But at the end of the day is adventure. You choose the adventure, and you'll see after the end of this itinerary, this webinar, I should say, that we have a lot of options for you, right? So like I said, like we mentioned to you before, we will have one lucky winner with a $500 travel voucher. And trust me, once you use it, you'll realize that you'll want to come back and see us again. So just a few little tidbits on why travelers love Exodus. Again, 44 years, we're award winning. I'll show you some of the awards we've been nominated and we've actually won. Expert local guides everywhere we go in destination, which is quite nice. At the same time, small groups, which again, I'll go more into details and let you know more about that. Anything in terms of getting your adventure off the ground, we're there for you. And you can read this here yourself, you know, but something I'm very passionate about, of course, Responsible Tourism Department, a dedicated one, and I'll show you a bit more about that. In terms of nominations and awards, it happens all the time. It feels great getting these awards and nominations for ourselves. So we have a special page for that. So that was 1974, the old days where there was no Facebook, there was no cell phones, there was no way for me to tell you, I'm gonna be there next week. Our original trip, that one that you saw, went from London through Pakistan to Kathmandu. It was meant to take, I believe, 9 weeks or so, and it didn't. It took a very long time. Anyways, we've grown a lot since then. Now we're offering over 600 trips in over 100 countries in all 7 continents. So like I mentioned to you earlier, responsible travel, we're very passionate about this. We know that everybody's home it's a home, it's your destination. We want to make this place a lot better, and we want their community to benefit from our visit. One major project that we started this year is called the Inspiration Project, and this one is pretty much we were committed to send at least 2,000 children from around the world on the exciting educational day trips, right? So this is a little clip from our YouTube channel. I just want to show you this right here, and basically you'll see this. This will be about a minute long. Just have a look just to let you know what it is that our inspirational project means to us. So you can see right there that our passion is there. Our tour leaders dedicated their time and their money, and along with collections from ourselves and clients, and we were able to send not only 2017 kids, but over 2,300 of them last year. So it feels good knowing that you are contributing to a great company that gives back to the community. So that's always very important. This is our website, for example, that deals specifically with responsible tourism. You can read all the projects that are there for you. So again, perfect time for you to read and feel and do know that you are working with a responsible travel operators is what we are, right? Now, in terms of adventure, again, it can mean anything to anybody, right? So the important thing is North Americans want to do something active. We've done so many beach resorts, and like, I want to do something different now. So we've been sending a lot of these clients here. And now I'm going to dig into what it is exactly that we do. So in a nutshell, we are small group adventure travel specialists. So small group meaning we get an average of 12 people onto our tours. And you can see the statistics here. We get an average age of 53 and good 60 to 40% female to male ratio. And the people that come on our trips, about 50% of them are couples and the rest are solo travelers. So we have many options and many ways for people to join our tours here, right? And basically what this allows you to do is to go and visit and interact local places, right? There's one thing is to go on a trip where you're on a cruise and you can't really interact with the locals because you have 3 hours to get back on the port. Or when you fly between point A and point B, you miss everything in between. For us, we allow it with the local guides to take you and show you the sites, the villages, and this is exactly what happens in Vietnam, for example. The kids would just go crazy when they see a bunch of cyclists that don't look like them and they pull over, right? So who takes you around from A to B? Local leaders. These range everything from professional mountaineers to Egyptologists, wildlife specialists, anybody with passion about their country, right? So I'm just going to show you one little clip here. This is Marinella. She won the Best Tour Leader of the Year in 2016, and she does our Puglia to Matera trips cycling. And you can see them right here that we employ some of the best people in the world right here, and we pay one of the best salaries in the industry, which is why they come back and work for us year after year, and not just, hey, I need a summer job, can I come work for Exodus? It doesn't work like that at all. So just to give you an idea, who takes you around from A to B, are going to be local guides. Now, where do we spend the night? Let me go back here for a second. This is very important. We use only locally owned hotels. We don't want to support international chains. This is also part of our way to give back to community. Remember, responsible travel everywhere we go. So this could range from mountains, from a chalet over in Mont Blanc to an ice hotel in Sweden to Bedouin camps, you name it, give you the authentic experience. We do not want you to walk into a place saying, I was here last night, and you say, no, that was the international airport in Philadelphia. I'm like, no, it looks the same. That's not what we want. So for example, this right here is one of the lodges we used the night before our gorilla trekking over in Uganda, just to give an experience, just to give you an idea, right? And again, this is all locally owned. So anywhere from a 3 to a 4, even sometimes a 5-star, because we also have premium tours with premium departures. Same thing, same adventure level, but just a bit more comfort at night. So I'll go into that in a bit more detail for you. But on our website, you can pull up any tour you want. I want to go Europe, Asia, you name it. You pull up the tour and you'll see the tab that says accommodation. Click on it and it'll give you a little bit of idea of what kind of hotels, lodges, or Bedouin camps, converted farmhouses, you name it, we use. And speaking of which, this right here is one of our converted farmhouses that we use over in Tuscany. So look at this, locally owned, converted farmhouse with a nice little pool, and you have ensuite rooms. And this is a 3-star property. And I know what that means. A lot of us here in North America, we're very set. 3-star. Is it 5-star? Is it 4-star? Is it 3-star? This is a 3-star property. It's absolutely gorgeous. So you'll see again at the end of this, if you want a trip that gets you and do all the camping for 2 weeks in Africa, we have those for you. But if you want to go premium lodges, we have those for you as well. So lots of options. Now, these are the 4 brochures that we have right now: culture, cycling, walking, and our brand new self-guided. We just launched it this past month in January, I should say. So if you want to order your own brochure, that's the info right there, travelinfonetwork.com. Send the address and we'll send those off to you, which is quite nice. Okay, let's start talking a bit more about how we do our trips, right? I have a dream. One day I would like to go and climb Kilimanjaro. I'm just not sure if lapping the malls every weekend will get me there. So we have these amazing fitness plans that will get you prepared for that big hike, because we get a lot of people that do simple things like level 1s and then eventually to your Inca trails, and they want to graduate or move forward to a bigger, more challenging trek. So we have these things for you. Now, speaking of levels, all our trips, whether they're active or not, we will always grade them for you from a level 1. We're still going to be friends by the end of the week, to your levels 3, 5, and then things get a little bit more challenging, right? So at the very top, walking, cycling, mixed activity, those are all the different activities you can do. And underneath it, guided, self-guided, tailor-made, all the different ways you can travel. So I'll go into into details with you. So when it comes to this, my aim is just to give you a couple little tidbits about walking and cycling and so on. I'm not going to dig too much into each specific tour because this is only meant to be about 30 minutes or so. So this is our brand new walking brochure that came out in the fall. So on the guided group format, there's a couple great ways to do it. Number 1, we have something called a center-based holiday. What does that mean? Well, a lot of people find packing here and packing there and unpacking, moving from one hotel to another, too much adventure. I want to stay put in one place. So we have this center-based holiday where you'll go and you spend the entire week in one hotel, like our #1 selling tour for the entire company, walking the Amalfi Coast. You spend the entire week in this wonderful locally owned hotel. It's a 3-star property, and you do all your day trips. Tomorrow, you're doing a day trip, you're coming back to the same hotel. The next day, you're doing a day trip and you're coming back to the same hotel. And that's the most wonderful thing. So it's a little nice, soft adventure for people, if for those who find packing and unpacking a little bit too much for them, right? Another great sample one, this is a premium tour. It is in the afternoon, so we can talk about wine. Walking the Prosecco Hills. This tour, I'm telling you right now, last year sold out all summer, and we introduced it in the summer of 2016, and it sold out as well because people want something different. And this, in the town of Soligo, which is about an hour north of Venice, you go and spend the entire week in this wonderful 4-star property here, 18th century. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. So you get, you know, your ensuite, Wi-Fi, pool, and what have you. And you stay here for the entire week. You do the day trips. And one of our most popular ones, of course, if you want a bit more of a challenge, you got this, the Mont Blanc highlights. And of course, staying in this one chalet. Look at this, the hot tub. After your 8, 10, 12-mile walk that day, just sit back and enjoy the view. So it's absolutely phenomenal. So we have center-based holidays. But the other traditional way to do trekking is this one, point to point. You know what that means. You spend one night here, 2 nights here, 1 night here, and you get to see more of the country or the area, and you get a different view every night, which is quite nice. We have some challenging trips. Remember I was saying, oh, they're all graded from a level 1 to a level 10. Welcome to the 7+ club. We got Everest Base Camp, which of course it's a big feat on everybody's to-do list, and of course Kilimanjaro. Good thing to know about Kilimanjaro, we use 2 routes that accumulate to only 25% of all climbers. So we use the less touristy paths, which is quite nice to know. But of course, this is the 7+. I'm not ready there yet. So let's do some nice little intro walking point-to-point trips, which is this one. Let's say if you want to go to Ireland, we have those trips for you. Or if you want to go to Greece, I know where a lot of people have visited Greece, but you've never done walking the Greek island kind of tours. We have those trips for you. You go visit 3 different islands in a week, which is quite phenomenal. And of course, the Camino, everybody's talking about the Camino. We have the Spanish way to do it from here all the way to Santiago de Compostela. And of course, inspired by the movie The Way, we'll make sure that you get your stamps all along the way. And it's 1 night here, 1 night there, 1 night here, and you move on and so on. And of course, we're back to wine because it's in the afternoon. We also have those premium point-to-point tours. So Portugal, walking and wine tour. And look at this fabulous accommodation. And all of these are locally owned, 4- and 5-star properties. So that gives you a little bit of idea about the walking. Again, we have trekking tours, like challenging, and then little soft walking ones. So lots of options for you, right? Switching gears now, we go to our cycling program. So we have a guided and self-guided format. So that was our new brochure. We've launched 12 new trips, and we have over 100 of these trips in over 40 countries, which is quite nice. And these are the 4 styles. We have road, off-road, self-guided, and drop bars. We include all the bikes in these except for the one called the drop bar. These are the more professional Tour de France style tours where you'll bring your own $15,000 to $20,000 bike, right? But if you want one from us, we'll definitely include one for you, so no worries. Like I said, if you don't have a bike, no problem. We will include the bike for you. Just bring your own helmet. The good thing about these tours is that you'll get vehicle support as well. So on the guided group format, you'll have the guide at the front, you know, say the 12 cyclists, and then the vehicle support in case that hill, or you don't feel good, or it's raining. I don't want to get my hair wet. Whatever you like, get in the van, take a little break. You're not gonna miss a thing. That's the best thing. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is there an e-bike option? Because I don't think I'm there yet. Yes, there are e-bike options in Europe. And of course, some of these, we have about 30 odd trips, which will feature an e-bike, an option that's an extra charge for you. But don't worry, if you want to have a little bit of a challenge, use the regular bikes. Otherwise, this is great for just show you how it works for us. So this is a very popular trip for North Americans, which is the Cycle Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama. On our website, when you scroll all the way down, we'll give you a cycling profile, because I know you're asking, when you're cycling, this is a 2-week tour. Am I cycling every day? Because I'm not doing that. No. We'll tell you right here, look, we'll cycle 1 day, 1 day off, 1 day yes, 1 day off, and so on. So this gives you a little bit of idea, right? Don't get fooled by this 55-mile one on day 9. This is what makes this a level 4, not a level 1, okay? That's why there's a lot of factors to this. So when you pull up the website, you'll see it right here. Level 4, minimum age, what's the group size, and you can click on the accommodation so you get an idea of what kind of hotels we're using. And of course, something I'm very proud of here called the reviews. You can read reviews from anybody that's been on our tours. We don't hide anything. People will tell you right there and then. But I want to focus on the bottom right-hand corner, which says trip notes, because you're going to ask questions like, where am I spending the night? How long am I doing this for? Am I ascending? Am I descending? What is going on day to day? So on the trip notes here itself, they'll tell you all that. Here's where you spend the night, what's included, how long am I going for, anything you want to know, because you have those cyclist people that want to know all the information. But on the right-hand side, you'll get more about the accommodation, food, transport. What money should I take? Is there food? Anything like that. We'll tell that right there for you. This has become a very popular trip for us. The Cycling the Dalmatian Coast is the #2 best-selling cycling trip that we have. And here I'm just going to show you what a day cycling with us entails, right? So you have the vehicle support, you got the bikes, you have the staff as well. So you have the guide and the driver who will, they'll fit the bike for you. They'll get it all ready for you. And then look at this. Isn't this one of the most fabulous ways you can see a country? I love it. And the great thing about doing these cycling trips is that rather than flying between A and B or taking an overnight train or an overnight bus, you miss that all the stops in between, right? So with the bike, you're allowed to do that. I remember in this trip being our #1 selling cycling trip. Yes, Vietnam, our #1 selling cycling trip. For this one, it's phenomenal because, of course, the food in Vietnam is absolutely beautiful. It's just stunning and great. But of course, you get to see some little small villages. But imagine this. This is you on your bike. Okay, I don't know about the guy in the back, but this is you on your bike, and you get to pull into the villages. And then I remember going into this lady's house one day thinking, okay, well, what are we doing in this lady's house? We go through her kitchen and so on. In the back, there's this rice paper factory that, what? I would have never known because it's just the guy knows everything, right? So at the end of the day, this is a great way to see the countries anywhere you go, right? So that's Vietnam and Ha Long Bay, of course. But then I mentioned to you that we have premium tours. So we do have a premium Portugal cycling trip. And then just to give you an idea, these are the descriptions of some of the hotels. Look, 4-star spa, front of a beach, beachside. Again, all locally owned, which is quite nice. And you get to visit all these wonderful little towns between Porto and Lisbon. So Portugal has been blowing up for us. It's so popular. If you want something different, though, you got it. You got fat biking in Finland. We launched this last winter. We did 3 trips. They all sold out in literally a week because everybody wants something different. So we're doing a lot more this year, and has gone really well for us. So we're keeping up with the demands. What do people want? They want something different. We're offering it to you. So cycling the Italian Swiss Lake. You can also walk it if you like. We have those options for you. That's our mentality. Let's go do a cultural trip, and let's add a cycling trip like this one, Peru. We have a cycling Peru, which is brand new, but we have a less active option. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of options here for you. So even something like going to Jordan, like I just want to show you, this is my colleague Kent, that was a trip that he did, showing off those shorts. And here's us just to give you a little bit of idea what a day-to-day would look like. And it's, again, a fabulous way to see the country, being on a bike as opposed to being on a flight or a bus or a big coach tour anyway. So that was the guided stuff, but also know that we have self-guided trips. And this is absolutely becoming so popular for North Americans because it allows you to do your own thing. And well, here's the best thing. You don't have to worry at all about what's the logistics. So let me tell you a bit more about this. We have cycling, walking, and family holiday style self-guided trips. So instead of the guide telling you, hey, follow me, we're gonna go left, we're gonna do this and so on, instead you'll get a nice 40 to 60 page booklet like this with all this information. You turn to map 1, use page 21, etc., right? Now, we'll transfer your luggage from A to B. We'll arrange all the logistics, and somebody meets you on day 1, which is phenomenal, right? So if you do a family trip, you can walk it or you can cycle it. And if you do a cycling one, of course, you can have that wonderful e-bike option, but it's 2018, and that means we have an app for some of these routes as well, which you don't need Wi-Fi or data for. So again, all your luggage gets transferred, all the logistics are taken care of, and somebody meets you on day 1. If you do the bike, we'll fit the bike for you. We'll give you a repair kit and what have you. You have no stress at all, so you have support at all times. Very popular ones, of course, is these bike and boats ones. We have Mountown to Venice, for example. So just to give, I'm just gonna flip through these slides here so you have a nice little idea. Those are the bikes, the accommodation, where you eat and so on. And of course, the more self-guided new trips where you're gonna walk the Lakes District in England, or if you wanna go to Sicily, you have those here for you. Or if you wanna go to Barolo and have some nice wine as you cycle, we have a lot of options there for you. So we have over 100 trips there for you. So sticking with a little bit of active, we have new fitness trips, or fitcations as we call it. Walking in yoga in the French Alps, or fitness weeks in Estonia, Morocco, or even France, where in the morning you might go for a 5K run, in the afternoon you might go for a mountain bike or row a biking boat. or an abs class. There's so much, a great way to stay fit because people want to do this. And so we're keeping up with the trends, right? So again, that was all the active stuff. Now let's slow things down. Let's go to the less active. Quickly here, I'll tell you, culture and wildlife. This is another brochure here. Here you'll find family, winter, food, culture, wildlife, and many other styles of travel. As you're probably wondering, what's popular here, Tone? Because there's a lot of trips. There's over 600 of them, but what are the popular ones? These are our top 10 trips that we've had for last year. You'll notice that only one of them is the non-active one, which is number 3, our highlights of Morocco, and the rest are all either hiking or cycling for you. So again, this is recorded. You can back to this anytime, and I can even send you a screenshot of this if you like. So we got trips in Peru, for example, which are very popular. This is one where you take the train into Machu Picchu. You're not doing the hike at all. And a very popular one, of course, we said Morocco. And just look at the properties we'll be using along the way. So we give you a pretty fair value and for what you're getting here. So just phenomenal. If you want something different, though, here we go. We got the 5 stands in the Silk Road. You can cover all 5 of those countries in 23 days, which is quite nice. So this is, I'm telling you, we have a lot of options here for you. Something great as well, food trips. So whether you want to go China, Spain, Amalfi, or if you want to go to northern Thailand or India, we have a lot of those food trips. Not just, I'm going to cook for you and you eat. No. We want you to cook the food with us. We want you to go to the market with us as well. So anyways, that was all the guided, self-guided stuff. But if you ever have a group, okay, travel agents, if you ever have a group of, let's say, 5 or 10 or 20 people that want to go on a trip, we have an FIT department. We call it a tailor-made department. So this one here will send you a nice little quote that will look like this, like a nice little PDF with all the information, day 1, day 2, day 3, and so on. The quote will come back to you net, and you can mark it up as much as you want. So an FIT department, we can customize anything that you see online for you, which is quite nice. So outside of that, family trips as well. So I'll just go over this and show you this, that we have different ages, 5, 8, 12, or 13. Where family A joins family B. They have a good time, like something like this, our Costa Rica trip. So once again, any tour, doesn't matter what you do, just click on reviews and you will read the reviews right there for you. So lastly, winter. I mean, we're just getting over the hump. So this is not a very big selling thing in Canada because I can just go outside. But of course, in the US, we're getting a lot of people. So cross-country skiing. So of course, one of the more popular is to go see the Northern Lights. And another last one here is the wildlife. So think of any animal, the orangutans, polar bears, manta rays, to whale sharks, spotting, you name it. Safaris, we have them all for you. So all specialists here. What I will tell you is these pug marks are shown right beside our wildlife trips. So the higher the pug mark, like the one at the bottom, 5 pug marks, means this trip is solely focusing on wildlife. So something like this one, our classic Kenya 4-wheel drive. I know a lot of people, when it comes to Africa, the first question is it camping, yes or no? This is not camping, this is glamping. So we have a lot of options for you. Look at this. If you want to go camping, you absolutely can. We have a couple of trips there for you, but it's not really a big seller. A couple more popular ones, just to flip this quickly for you, is Sri Lanka, of course. Look at this, elephants, the whales, the sharks, whatever you want to see. And look at the wonderful accommodations, as well as seeing some temples and seeing some great beaches for you. So a lot of great variety in Sri Lanka. And one of my favorite ones being the chimps and gorillas of Uganda. Of course, you get to go see the chimps and the gorillas. We'll include the permit for you. Look at the accommodations you spend the nights, right? We showed you one from the beginning where you spend the nights. And after seeing the chimps, you'll see other types of primates, which are here, the sleeping lions. And this is what I love this so much. This was filmed. This is me about 1.5 years ago when I went to go see the gorillas over in Uganda, just to give you a little bit of idea of what you'll be expecting here. So lush forest. And I'm telling you this, I've been blessed with seeing a few big, wonders of the world and some great sights. But that encounter one-on-one with the gorilla, I cannot tell you. It's hard for me to tell you that anything else will beat it. It is one of the most wonderful things you'll ever see. So you can do the trip for the gorillas in Uganda, but you can also do a quick 3-day trip over in Rwanda as well, which is quite nice. And this gorilla actually came here, like this is how close we are to each other, and stopped. And the guy told me to move because he wanted to get past me, so I had to move over. And it was definitely a tearjerker, I tell you that right now. And there it is, of course. The good thing about this trip is that you'll get an opportunity to go the next day. Yes, that was the beat on that turn for sure. And this is how you get around from A to B. So at the end of the day, just showing you some ideas of what we can do for you, right? So questions, are all the dates guaranteed? click on the dates and prices on any tour, and we'll tell you that's available and the other one's guaranteed. That's how you can tell. Very important. Optional single supplement. We only charge if you want your own room. If you're a solo traveler, we don't charge you extra. Okay, unless you want your own room. We'll try to match you up with somebody in the same gender. Okay, so like our female departures, we're going to be doing a lot more of these coming up. If one single female wants to come on any of these tours, we try to match her with somebody else. Okay, if she doesn't want to share with anybody else, we give her own room, and then we charge the single supplement. That's it. Okay, so a couple of things for the agents. What's in it for me? Simple. You are more than welcome to come on any of our tours with 30% off. Once you make your first booking, you can make that 50% off anytime. It doesn't expire. If you make a booking February 2018 and then you tell me 2019 you want to come on our tours, come. We'll be waiting for you. Now, if you book, when you make 10 bookings, then you'll get a free tour on us, which is quite nice. For those who have social media and Facebook, this is our Facebook group for agents only. So if you want to be added, we only post information that helps you sell Exodus. No cat videos, no coffees, nothing like that. Just things that help you sell Exodus. We also have an agent portal where when you log in, you'll be able to see how to join the tour, the people that are on the tour, what's guaranteed. You can compare tour A with tour B, etc. If you want a login, email us right there, agents@exodustravels.com. Lastly, we have an online training academy here as well, which of course, once you create your an account, you look at these wonderful badges, and it gives you a bit more in depth of what we're talking about. And you also have some images as well, which you can download and promote it yourself. So a great agent contest we have is called a bucket list bingo from now until the end of June. Simple. Download the card and just make a line, vertically, horizontally, whatever you want, and you can win one of these fabulous bucket list trips on us. So this is running until June 30th. And if you ever want any marketing opportunities like flyers or anything to post on your personal Facebook page, by all means, let us know. And this is a couple sample ones that we can do for you, right? So just to wrap things up, why Exodus? Again, 44 years. You saw that we have over 600 trip ideas for any sort of budget, from 2 to 3 to 5 to 10 stars, whatever you like to do, right? So we are the world's leading hiking and biking operator for sure. And you saw how we are responsible travel operators. And the best thing is we're giving you 15% commission on all of these, right? So I'm going to open it up to some questions now again. And if you have any questions, I'm kicking around. And thank you for your time so far.
Okay, Tony, that was absolutely incredible. Every one of those trips looks amazing, so you get a lot to choose from. We do have some questions. Several agents wanted to go back to the slide where you can order the brochures.
Sure. Let me. Do you mind if I just do this then? Here we go. Thank you. Travelinfonetwork.com, I believe, is the. That's it right there. Here we go. Let me pull that up right there for you. There it is. Travelinfonetwork.com is the website where you can order the brochures.
Okay, great. Thank you. On the travel agent website that you just mentioned, is there a booking engine on that too, or how do agents book these trips?
Yes, the agent portal is exactly like that. You can go ahead and you can book, or you can put a hold on any tour you want. Free of charge. We don't need any money or anything up front. We can hold a spot for 7 days, no problem. And then we're working on getting an actual payment portal done so that you can apply a payment yourself. So as of right now, you can log into this portal, hold a spot for any tour, and you get we follow up with you with an invoice and what have you, and we gives you 5 business days for your client to think about it, and then we ask for a deposit, which is only normally $300 US. That's it.
Okay, fantastic. You mentioned that prices quoted to travel agents are net prices. Is that right?
When it comes to our tailor-made, yes. When it comes to tailor-made, when you make your own FIT, yes, the price will come back to you net. If you want us to include a 10% markup or commission or 15, whatever, we'll do that for you. When it comes to regular tours that are already on our website and what have you, we're giving you 15% commission on these already, including Polar, okay? And those are all in US dollars, of course. And we give you the commission the month of departure.
Fabulous. Can you give the address for Exodus's Facebook page?
Yes, for sure. Here we go. Exodus Agent Adventure Club. Hit join, and we post 2 to 3 times a week with info that helps you sell Exodus. For example, this is our Loire Valley self-guided tour. Here's the castles you'll be staying at. Here's the hotels. Here's the notes. Here's some great pictures. Things to help you sell, including promos, our FAMs, things like that. We just launched 2 FAMs for this upcoming season, so you'll see those on our Exodus Agent Adventure Club.
Excellent. Okay. Do you do custom guided tours? And if so, is there a minimum number of participants?
Money talks. I'm not going to kid you. So if you have a couple that want to do their own thing and they want to guide it and it's going to cost them a bit more, then yes, we can do that for them. Ideally, what you like to do is this. We have a tour online, let's say, right? And let's say that tour costs $2,000. For you to have a similar price tour for a private group, aim for about 10 people. That's usually the golden rule. If 10 people will get you the same similar price as something you see online. But I don't want to say there's no minimum, but I mean, money talks, right? Let's be honest. If there's a family of 5 that are pretty wealthy and they don't care, we'll definitely put an FIT quote for them. And we've done that before. 4 people, Iceland, 10 days, off we went. It was pricey, but they're willing to pay for it. So if you want something that's comparable with something you see online, aim for about 10 people.
Okay, fabulous. And for self-guided tours, is there a minimum number of people on the same date and itinerary?
For that one, is because it's self-guided, we price that for 2 people. And some of these departures run every 2 days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, etc., etc. So the pricing and everything's done for a couple. If only one person wants to go on a self-guided one, that's the only time we'll charge you a single supplement because you're going by yourself. That's the only time. Okay? But when it comes to self-guided, I mean, the different dates, and you'll see them on request, because all it takes is for us to say, hey, we have a couple here, the John or the Smiths that want to go on this tour. Can you confirm? Yes. So these are usually departing every couple of days. Limited to availability because we're not using hotels that have 100 rooms. No, we're using, like you saw some of the pictures. Yeah. We're using some of the hotels that have 20 rooms maximum. So.
Okay. Do you do air as well? And if you do you pay commission on air?
We do not do air. If there's any flights included in the tours, those are obviously included. But we do recommend a company that we've been using for the last 4 months, and it's called airtrex.com. And we found that they have a pretty good way to sort of offer a lot of different routes and itineraries for you to meet us on day 1 for our tours. But we don't do air ourselves, no.
Okay, great. Can the price be quoted in Canadian dollars?
Yes, price can be quoted in Canadian dollars because that's where our office is in Toronto here in Canada. So the price can be done in Canadian dollars and also British pounds if you want.
And is that available on the same website?
Yes, all you have to do is scroll down to the very bottom and choose your region. So instead of US, make sure it's .com/CA.
Are there any tours in in the United States?
Yes, we do have a few tours. We're launching new cycling trips in California. We've done quite a bit of parks over in the Utah and Grand Canyon area, and we're even launching new tours that are combining Yukon with Alaska, and even some towards the deep south, let's call it, like Nashville and New Orleans and so on. So all you need to do is just go under Destinations USA, and you'll see all the tours that including Hawaii, which is one of the trips that we're giving away as a bucket list as well.
Oh wow, excellent. Yes. Couple of more questions. Does if clients book directly with Exodus, does Exodus ask them if they have a travel agent?
It's pretty tough. I'm going to be honest with you. I want to tell you what you want to hear, and I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to say, if the average Joe just calls us direct, say, hi, I want to book a tour, we're going to say, okay, sure, great, no problem. Because we're not going to ask them, do you have an agent you want to go to? No. But here's what happens. A lot of these clients will come to us, book a tour, and then they'll go to you for the air. So if you want to take over a booking, well, that's a different story. Just get your client to email us, say, hi, I would like my travel agent to take over the booking, and we're more than glad to give it over to you.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yes.
One of our agents wants to know if you have tours in Iceland.
Iceland, good times. Yes, we have 14 tours in Iceland. The shortest one being that the Northern Lights 5-day one, and we have a cultural trip, a cycling one, which is challenging, but it's worth it, a walking one, and we even launched one that combines Iceland with Greenland, which is such a huge popular spot. So go under destinations, click Iceland, and you'll see all the tours that touch Iceland.
And we have time for one more question, and that is, we have an agent who's working with a group going to China in 2019, which may be more than 20 passengers. Is that something that she can do through Exodus, or do you have a maximum?
Depends what it is, right? Because we have some trips that could do a combination of a cruise, so the cruise can accommodate a bit more. So she's gonna have to email us agents at, which is this email address here, and we can let her know, because I know that we try to stick it within the same Exodus style, which is, you know, maximum 16, but some tours could be maximum 18, like our second Vietnam. So feel free to send us an email and we can let you know, because we could possibly accommodate 20 people. Now, if you're asking for 40 or something, no. 20, probably pushing it, but you never know, different regions, right?
Okay, well, I want to tell our agents two things. One is that if you think of more questions after this webinar is over, Tony has his contact information up there.
Right here.
Right there. There we go. So email him, or and he will get back to you with the answers to your questions. And also remember that after this webinar is over, now that everyone's so excited about these fabulous tours,
Yes.
after the webinar is over, Tony's going to be doing a random drawing, and the prize winner will get a $500 voucher that's good towards, is it any one of these tours that's good towards, Tony?
Yes, except for the polar region or a tailor-made itinerary, but anything else is okay. Family trips, walking, cycling, cultural, you name it.
Okay, fabulous. So if you are the winner, excuse me, you will be hearing from Tony or someone on his
Yes.
team about the prize.
Absolutely. I just want to say thank you very much for everybody for coming out and listening to me speak. I hope I've given us the insight on what we can do together, but please know, adventure travel is on the rise, and we've been waiting for those news for a long time. We've been around for 44 years, so give us an email. We're more than happy to help you, okay? And by far, one of the best webinars I've done in a very long time, for sure.
Well, thank you so much. Our host today has been Exodus Travels. I'm sure you're going to remember their name after that wonderful presentation. And our speaker has been Tony Perdomo. Tony, this was just really wonderful, fantastic. I think we all know of clients who would love to do many of these trips. So thank you so much.
Thank you as well. Really appreciate it. Look forward to working together with everybody.
And I want to thank our agents again for joining us today for this wonderful webinar. I'm sure you got a lot out of it. Again, any more questions, give Tony an email and he can answer for you. So thank you very much for being with us today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.